Hey y'all, no here. Well, I'm starting my third week on the road. It doesn't really seem like it's been that long in a way. Uh, I am on the way to Wrangell St. Alias National Park. I left Toke. Yes, and I have been pronouncing it wrong. The people in Toke told me that it's not Tok, it's Toke. So I apologize to the good people of Toke for mispronouncing the name of their town all this time. But I'm about halfway to, what's the name of that town? Glen Allen. Spent the night in the rest stop last night. Something you need to know is the milepost is well worth the investment. The mileposts show you every little turnout, every rest stop, every point of interest along almost every road in Alaska, and many of them in Canada. So it's well worth the investment because you can plan ahead and kind of get an idea of where you might be stopping for the night or all kinds of different things. But it's one very important thing you have to remember to do. And that is when you start on a road, on a highway that's in the milepost, you got to set that trip odometer to 0 because you're going to need to watch your trip odometer to see when those turnouts, when those rest areas are going to be coming up. Now, the Alaska Highway and the Glacier Highway are very good about having mile markers or, in Canada, kilometer markers along the way to let you know how far you've come up that highway. But once you get in Alaska, it can get a little bit more confusing. But if you'll remember to set that trip odometer when you start on a road, then you can watch your trip odometer and tell when you're coming to the different places in the milepost. Now, something else I'm learning is that we lower 48ers are information spoiled, okay? We're used to being able to pick up our phone and find out anything we need to know anywhere we are. Okay, well, it's not that way in Alaska. You're only going to get reliable cell coverage when you're close to a town or a city. But when you're out on the road, it's very spotty. If you get any coverage at all when you're way between towns, that's not very common to get that. So the thing you want to do is when you come to a town, don't just fill up with gas and get out of town as fast as you can. Don't just fill up your gas tank, fill up your information tank, okay? For instance, when I get to Glen Allen today, I'm going to make sure that I download all the trail maps that I'm going to need in Wrangell because I'm going to be camping in the park and hiking on trails and stuff like that. But I know there's not going to be any internet access on my phone at all once I get there. Okay, so I've got to make sure that I download everything that I think that I could possibly need once I get to McCarthy. Because once you get there, there's no picking up your phone and doing anything with it other than taking a picture, perhaps. Another thing you need to do or get in the habit of doing is when you come to a town, check the weather forecast, check the radar, because you're not going to be able to find out that information once you get away from those towns. And so, if you want to know what the weather's going to be or if you're going to run into rain or a storm or anything like that, you got to check it when you're near a town because when you get out on the road, you're not going to be able to check anything. So hope those hints help and that, it will help you to know how to deal with things on the road, like I'm having to learn them on my own. Maybe you can learn from my mistakes. I just wanted to share a couple of things with you that you may find useful if you come to Alaska. The first thing is these window screens. I made these myself. You can buy them ready-made, perhaps, but you're not going to get a very good fit, probably. Just be advised that the glue on the back of the magnetic tape is not enough to stick to the screen, so you're going to need to use hot melt to stick it to the screen. The other thing is window screens. You probably think that it doesn't get very hot in Alaska, and relatively speaking it doesn't, but when the sun doesn't go down until midnight, that heat can build up in your van quite a bit. So just a couple of things that you might find useful. You probably notice I put joints in my magnets so that they could fold up like this. Wow, these mosquitoes are really bad this morning, probably because I'm parked right next to their home. You can see the Wrangell Mountains from far away. I stopped to take a few still shots because I think I'm a better still photographer than video. So here's a few. Chitna marks the end of the paved road. From here on out, it's going to be mostly gravel all the way to Wrangell, St. Alias. Make sure you have plenty of gas because there will be none available at Wrangell, St. Alias National Park. There's no charge to enter the park, but it does cost $10 per night to park your vehicle. If you sleep in your vehicle, it's going to cost you more. I went ahead and paid for 4 nights, hoping that the weather would stay good, but it didn't. It turned rainy and I left after the first night. There's no refunds if you leave early. Another thing I was wrong about, you'll have very good cell phone reception in the McCarthy and Kennecott areas. I camped beside the Root Glacier at Wrangell, St. Alias the one night I was there. I got some great sunrise photos the next morning. I hope you enjoy them.